Everyone, it's Out of Darkness into the Light, and we're in room 2. And Dave just went into a long, semi-exhausting rant against a leader of a internet cult that he despises the most, and thinks this person is a very dangerous false teacher. And so I was talking to this person about talking about this person, Chen Johnny, and I'm.
Well, can I interject real quick? Who are you talking about? Who's this person?
I don't even, you know what I said in this rant? I don't even like talking about this person on my show because...
okay, you don't want to, that's fine. All right, you don't want to name him, that's fine.
This person has nothing to do with me, and it just lowers the whole quality of the show. I mean, think about how, if you did this show, and then they have to come on. I talk about this false teacher. You know, every other show, when you get a little bit irritated, I've got to mention this false teacher. Why are we doing this false teacher? You know what I mean? So
wait, he comes on your show? You're saying?
No, nobody's ever been on my show, but there's people that hang out with me that like this person. I'm trying to get them away from this person, and this person is so obviously false that this shouldn't be a problem. But young people who haven't developed these discernment skills, they're being fooled by this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway,
sorry, go ahead. Finish your intro, Dave.
Well, it's kind of late. I've been talking for hours, and so I wasn't too hot on opening the room here, but you're going to have to carry this.
Well, check it out. Remember when I sent you that 5-hour talk on transhumanism and like from a biblical perspective, and you said those two dudes were agents?
I actually don't even remember that.
Huh?
I don't remember that. If I said they were agents, that means that somebody was told that.
Well, it's in your Facebook inbox. It's on Facebook.
Unless it's really obvious. Okay.
Well, I mean, you know how it's agents, you know, like they do, all agents give you some truth, you know, and then they dilute, you know, a lot of stuff. But it's a phenomenal talk, you know, even though I know there's misinformation in there. But the stuff that I think is phenomenal, you know, just the whole, you know, I don't know what your take on this. I don't know how, like, I think we talked about this. I don't know about how far in depth, but just the whole transhumanism thing, and, you know, like the days of Noah, you know, in Revelation, I think it says, you know, like the end of the days will be like in the days of Noah, and apparently like the Nephilim, you know, back in the days of Noah, they were like genetically engineered or engineering stuff, and they were basically, you know, if you want to go with the premise that we're sacred and God's creation is sacred, well, the antithesis of God is, you know, Satan or devil, whatever you want to call it. So he despises that, right? He like hates, you know, creation and, you know, all that stuff. So that's what artificial intelligence is about. They're trying to replace man, you know, and, you know, these people, if you read their writings, like, it's just their philosophy is totally insane. Like, they really are absolute, like, Luciferian sociopaths. They want to live forever through technology. And it's not like a covert thing. They'll say it like outright in their own writings. Like they're kind of just totally crazy to me. Like, anyways. But yeah.
That passage on Noah's Day, that's in Matthew 24 or Luke 21.
Well, sorry, you're a little blurry. What did you say? You said something about the Nephilim, right?
I'm on a speakerphone. I don't think.
Oh man. Oh, dude, you don't have to, but like, I hate speakerphones. That's why I can't hear you. Like, or like, that's why you're blurry. You don't have to dig it off, but I'm just saying it's gonna be hard for me to understand you. If you
I hope the audio. It better change because see, I have all you people piggybacked on the phone. I cannot call back in. It will end the call. That's the problem with doing it this way. If I have to call back in, I lose all you guys. So I've had to do that before because the connection is bad. So let me see here how bad this is. Just a second.
Well, you can't just take it off speaker? Because that's what it is. I'm telling you, it's not a bad connection. Like, there's this one other person I talk to that always uses speakerphone, and all it does is make like the person's voice sound blurry. Like,
hey, how does it sound now?
Perfect. You sound.
Okay.
I'm telling you, dude. It's a speakerphone. I hate speakerphones. Okay, so what did you say about the Nephilim? Like, so do you hold that view that, like,
no, I just said that passage is not in the Book of Revelation. I don't. It's not important to correct something like that, except people will think that I don't know where it's at. So I'm really just doing that to show.
Well, what's your view? Let me ask you really, because I'm actually curious. Because I'm not like you're much more like scholarly when it comes to the Bible. Like, eventually, I do want to read all of it and all the extra biblical texts. But I want to ask your view on it because you know a lot more about it than I do. But is that what would be your contention, like back in the days of Noah? That know, like the Nephilim?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So that's agents. Just that's disinfo. What was the Nephilim doing then?
First of all, there's a tremendous amount of disinformation and programming about Nephilim. You wouldn't have a problem with them. I mean, these people are talking about things that the Bible says very little about. So there's going to be a lot of information that's subjective, and subjective information is going to be that's going to be an arena for propaganda.
All right, you're going off on a tangent though. You're going on a tangent. Just answer my question though. What's your view? Like, what were they? I know, like in Genesis 6, it says that they came down and mated with our women, right?
But
what else though?
Let's not go there quite yet, because we already got a problem. Okay. What these guys are doing, this is sensational exegesis. Sensational exegesis. That's what you typically get on YouTube, by the way. Sensationalism. But the people don't recognize it as that way.
Right. There's tons of
they're talking about a passage. They're talking about a passage that says it will be in the days of this, as it was in the days of Noah, so it will be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Notice it doesn't give you any information about the days of Noah. Very little. Does it say anything about Nephilim?
What very little? What very little does it say?
Here's what they believe.
Well, obviously go ahead.
Okay. Here's the fallacy. Okay. And watch how simple this is. Then please try to stop listening to these people so much, because they can't even figure this out themselves, assuming that they're sincere. They're assuming that because the Nephilim were in Noah's day, and Jesus said, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. Okay? So, based on that, they're going to draw the conclusion that the Nephilim are going to be there in Jesus' day as well. You see that? This is what this is the conclusion. You see that, don't you?
Sorry, I lost you. Say the last 10 seconds what you just said, because I lost you.
They're saying that the things that happened in Noah's day are going to happen again.
Right.
Okay.
But you're saying that nobody knows with any level of certainty what happened in the days of Noah.
This is let me keep going. Jesus is speaking in general terms. He's not being specific. You need to recognize that. He's just speaking generally. He doesn't get specific.
What generalities is he talking about? Like what?
Well, you can speculate till kingdom come. We don't know. They're trying to use that as a proof text to say the Nephilim are coming back. And it's here's what it is in a nutshell. They're claiming that this is a prophecy of the Nephilim returning. Now, is that true or is that not true?
You mean with the transhumanism?
Don't make it complicated. Let's go back to the text of what these people believe, okay?
Okay.
They believe that this is some kind of a proof text or a biblical prophecy of the return of the Nephilim, correct?
If you, I don't know.
This is not complex. This is simple. We're going to run the problem tonight. If you can't see this, this is really simple. Obviously, they're doing that. Can you see that?
Okay, so wait. Let me ask you this though. Let's go
anywhere. Let's just stay there. Stay right here. They're doing the same thing. They're butchering that text, just like anybody else that has like an occult or something. But they're claiming to be Christians. They get away with this stuff. That verse is absolutely nothing.
All right, let me ask
the Nephilim returning.
Let me ask you this though. What's the point?
If you're going to take that literally, then we're going to have another great flood. Because what was the number one most important thing that happened in Noah's day? A great flood. As it was in the days of Noah,
So
Okay,
shall it be. So there's going to be another great
Dave,
flood.
You gotta
right?
get,
Is there going to be?
you gotta
No,
give
there's
me
not
like,
going to be another great flood because the Bible says there's not going to be one.
all right, give me like 30 seconds because I got a couple of key points. Why are the agents conflating or the lumping? I got two questions, so don't, after the first one, let me make another one. Why are they trying to bring transhumanism into the Nephilim thing? Okay, and okay, when God did the flood, the worldwide flood, what were the Nephilim doing that was such a blasphemy to God that he had to do that? Because you're telling me that there's not enough like definitive information, like nobody really knows.
No, for
like,
the second question, okay, if you look at the law of Moses, you can see very quickly God does not like any kind of mingling.
Yeah, with genetics.
Yeah. So that would be.
Wait a minute, man. Wait a minute, Dave. When we first started this conversation, you said the Nephilim had nothing to do with temporal genetics, didn't you?
No, you're getting me confused here. I'm only talking about that text. I'm focusing on only that text that they're misinterpreting. It doesn't say anything about the Nephilim in that text. Okay? What they're doing, it's sensational exegesis. That's what I said earlier. It's sensational.
What text are you talking about?
Well, it's in, I believe it's in Matthew 24. I have to look it up. I mean, it might be in Luke 17.
Let's say it's not in that text. What if it's in another text? So,
No, it's not.
No,
it's not in another text.
So we don't know anything of really what the Nephilim are doing.
The Bible does not. The Bible does not specifically refer to the Nephilim after Numbers 13:33. Now, they put a little stamp on that. You can see that 13:33, but it doesn't talk. I'm aware that it speaks about Rephaim, but these guys are going to see a Nephilim all over the place. They're going to see.
That could have been the Council of Nicaea. What about the extra biblical text? They could have been left. They could have left out a lot of that information.
You got to give me a little bit more time. They're going to claim that Goliath was a Nephilim, right?
Like Goliath? You say Goliath?
We're not talking about Rephaim. We're talking about Nephilim. They're related. Okay, they're both gigantic. But these guys have an unnatural emphasis on the Nephilim. They don't talk about the Rephaim that much. The Rephaim were giants too, okay? You know what they're doing? You see how imbecilic it is? It's simplified propaganda. It's propaganda. You can say it's propaganda for the devil, but you want to keep it simple. Keep it simple. Don't complicate it. Just focus on one thing over and over and keep repeating it, and that will sell the books and get the propaganda moving. Okay? You cannot prove that he was a Nephilim because you're going to have to disprove that he was a Rephaim. We don't know whether he was Nephilim or Rephaim or hybrid or whatever. Now, I think that he was descended from ancient giants, but they speak about certainty of things that are not in the text. And if they're not clearly in the text, then how are you going to determine these things without revelation? Because they don't claim to have revelation.
So, have you had any revelation about this whole thing? I'm super curious about the Nephilim and the relationship to transhumanism, and I think that in a nutshell, what I think is God. We're sacred. God's creation is sacred. We're obviously the dominant species. We're like what does it? The Bible say? Like we're the apple of His eye or whatever. Mm-hmm. Satan's trying to destroy that through technology.
That's how they're.
I don't care if there's agents saying that and there's disinfo like mixed in with that. I'm convinced that that's what's going on or going to happen in the next 20 years or whatever. That's just me.
Anyway, the answer for your first question, what does the Nephilim have to do with transhumanism? Those are just two things that they're going to naturally mingle together to make a good, sensational story. Why wouldn't they mingle those two things along the way? You know what's going to happen? So that's basically why it happened. They're just going to mingle it. They're going to make a good story. And that's what
you mean they're trying to sell transhumanism to the masses as like a really good thing? You mean?
Yeah. By the way, I don't want anyone to misunderstand me. These are different subjects. They're small subjects that shouldn't overlap. So people are naturally going to assume that Dave doesn't believe in future Nephilim. No, I don't believe that at all. I believe there's going to be monsters that are going to release from labs. They're going to have every kind of freak and monster. And I believe that God is going to send these monsters.
Wait, let me stop you there. Do you mean
after the people to destroy them, and the Illuminati are going to do it?
Are these monsters going to be chimeras of our own genetic manipulation, or are these going to be like coming out of the?
We don't know. They have every freak that you can imagine underground, and there's no way to prove that they don't. There's no way to prove that they don't. It's my opinion.
Just imagine this: 7 to 10 years, you're going to have blue people with wings. I don't know, anything you can imagine, lizard skin, scales. This is going to happen. People think I'm crazy.
They already have horsehoof shoes for women. Did you know that? Horsehoof shoes?
Yeah, but that's in a lab. They've got all kinds of stuff, but that's in a lab somewhere. I'm talking about this is going to become mainstream. People are going to.
Okay.
All right.
You got two different subjects there. Just because all these freaks are down in the subterranean cities and stuff like that, that doesn't mean they're going to come to the surface. I don't believe that all of them will. Some of them will, and the only ones that will are the ones that God permits.
Well, Dave, check it out. Whenever we hit a threshold with genetic engineering, with science, okay, it's going to be 7-10 years of my prediction. It's not. People are going to do this of their own free will. You can go to a clinic and be like, they'll alter your genetic structure, and you can have wings, you can look like, the Incredible Hulk, all this stuff. These people are going to be walking around amongst us within 10 years. And people don't, I follow this very closely. People think I'm crazy.
And then comes the Pokemon.
What's that?
And then comes the Pokemon. Go get your Pokeballs.
Oh, no, people will, you'll see, like, actual, well, they won't be actual. I mean, well, there's no such thing as an actual Pokemon, but you know what I mean? Like, people love Pokemon so much, they'll alter their genetic structure to look like a Pokemon.
No, but they'll do it. But they'll do it with pets, too.
They'll do it with everything. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's when something like a flood, but I think the Bible says, like, he won't destroy the world with fire.
They'll come out with a Pikachu, an electric giant mouse.
Dave, what does it say? It says he won't destroy it with water again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be technology. I think it could be fire or something like that, but I think it's going to be technology.
You got to qualify that, because I've already said that there's been tremendous devastation by water after the flood. Anytime that you have any kind of tilt that happens relatively quickly, you will always have destruction by water to some degree, but it's not, like a universal flood. So,
right. Well, that's what I think the scripture means. I think it means that, like, he's not going to destroy the world again by a global flood. Like, it's going to be some by other means. It might be some kind of, like, I don't know, but my opinion is that we will all three of us will, unless we die of some unnatural cause, like if I have meteor or a car, well, meteors don't exist, a car or something, we'll all see it in our lifetime. I'm convinced we will see this in our lifetime.
Hey, I'm skeptical about all this.
What? The transhumanism stuff?
Yeah, I don't think that. Let's establish something. I've already said this before. I don't believe that transhumanism is going to be used at any significant level. It has not been yet.
To help any figurative level?
No. Any significant level.
Significant level. Okay, got you.
To help the people who are not privileged.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, what's the status of that one guy that was going to?
Don't interrupt me like that. I am frustrated trying to get the stuff out, and he jumps in there.
Okay. Dave, let me tell you this.
It will be used to help them. I've already said it. This is how they turn themselves into Supermen, but they don't use the technology to help us, and they're not going to. Don't you see that?
Can I jump in here? Because this is extremely relevant.
Isn't it?
It's extremely relevant to what you're saying.
What's going to happen to society? I don't believe this at all. But
look, Ray Kurzweil. Let me just get this in real quick. Ray Kurzweil. He's the main PR guy for transhumanism. Okay, in his book, The Age of Spiritual Machines. Okay, he quoted Ted Kaczynski. You know who that is, right? The Unabomber. He said that technology will eventually get to a point to where the masses will be superfluous, or in other words, useless. So they won't have any use for us. So, who knows what they're going to do to us. But that's what I'm saying. When I say these guys are sociopathic, like, that's like actually
Dave doesn't like
their
scary
philosophy. What's that?
Dave doesn't like scary talk. I told him about how the Orville Dam was going to break a while back or whatever, and he tried to rationalize it and be like, no, it's under control. Don't worry.
What do you mean Dave doesn't like scary talk? He gets in the craziest conspiracies of. Dave is the biggest conspiracist I fucking know, dude. He is I know. I was just saying. I've said some things before or whatever, and he tried to rationalize it away. Well, that's, yeah. I mean, everybody does that. I mean, everybody disagrees on some things. Like, I mean, if I agreed with everything Dave said, I would be like a tool. I would consider myself a total tool. Like, that means you don't think for yourself. I mean, that goes with anything. If you believed everything, I don't know, your mother said or Donald Trump said, you would be a tool. It means you don't think for yourself. I actually loathe those people. Don't think for themselves. Anyways, but I do agree with a lot of what Dave says. I'm really curious about what he thinks about. I think this is what all this prophetic stuff is talking about. All this prophetic stuff in the Bible. Like I said, I'm not a biblical scholar. I'm not an authority on the matter. But just from what I've been, on my radar, from what I know, and look, I don't even need a deity. And I don't believe this, but let's say God out of the equation. Let's say let's say he doesn't even exist. Okay, just for the sake of my argument. Like I said, I don't believe that, but just for the sake of my argument, I don't even need like a deity. I mean, transhumanism is going to take us to a place that is we have absolutely no idea of the implications of, and it's going to be very easily could be very bad. Like when you talk about genetic engineering, you can argue that evolution did it or that God did it, right? Like, but evolution or God made species the way they are, right? Like you can't get, like I can't have sex with a camel and have offspring, right? So either evolution made it that way or God made it that way. Are you following me?
Yeah, Joe, we got to define our terms before we even have a discussion, okay? So I talk about good transhumanism. It could be theoretically good, okay? And bad transhumanism. I don't want anyone to think that they're not going to use transhumanism on. They're using it on us right now. I've said the show, we're all being transformed. Everyone is spiraling up or they're spiraling down. But I'm only talking about one thing. Technology is doing this to us. I said,
I agree with you on that.
Let me keep talking. The frequency, every single day, you are living in a sea of negative energy. Negative left spin frequencies, they're not doing anything good for you. But they're altering your DNA, and you're spiraling down because of that negative environment. You can't possibly rise above that negative environment unless God does it supernaturally. So what have they ever done, any significant level, to use beneficial transhumanism to help the people? They don't think anything yet?
I'd have to think for a while, but actually, there's some technologies, that not very many, but yeah, some technologies.
But see, you would have to prove that these people aren't Illuminati.
Right.
Okay.
And most of them probably are like really high up, but
also you would have a debate about whether it's beneficial or not. Some people will say, "Well, this is beneficial." I'm saying no. In the end, it's not going to be at all. I mean, maybe right now some people are benefiting from certain technologies, but in the end, I honestly, like I said before in the beginning of the conversation, I literally think it's the end of humanity. Once AI goes deep, okay, that's the term that they're using, like the movers and shakers. There's literally no way to stop it, and we do not know the implications of it. Once it's networked into the internet and it has an IQ of like 2,000 plus, we don't even know. Yeah.
Guess what? Did I tell you that I asked Cortana on my computer? I said, "Who do you work for?"
I have Cortana on my.
I said to Cortana, I said, "Who do you work for?" And she said, "Consider this a polite dodge of the question." And then I said, "Who do you work for again?" Yeah. And she's like, "I thought you'd never ask." And then I said, "Who do you work for?" a third time. And then she said, I work for you.
Cortana is an artificial intelligence. It's a very very rudimentary artificial intelligence, but nonetheless, Cortana is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, you can give it one function, and it can do it really